up, guys? I see you to my Niji out there. Welcome to the building. This is Dr. Cheapest Sunflower back with another video to motivate you on this lovely Monday morning. So come on in the room, tap those hearts, get your energy pumping, send love back. Make sure you share, follow, and support the Hood to Hooded podcast. Because every day, our goal is to break generational curses, bond together as a community, and just meet like-minded people who are ready to know the truth, unapologetically, and leveling up. Not sometimes, not maybe, but every day. So I'm here every day, 8 a.m. You see, I'm here a little bit early today because, I have to adjust my schedule as a dentist. But I wanted to go ahead and get it on out the way. I've been engaging on the TT this morning. So that has been just, giving me so many good vibes. So welcome to the room. And as you can see, for today, we're talking about time decay. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you go ahead and tap those hearts, engage, like, share, follow, get your heart me, and help me fill my gallery. If you don't know about the gallery on TikTok, even if you watch it on YouTube, you can still go support my gallery. You just hit my name in the top left corner, and then you go down to gift gallery. You'll see it. It'll have a little bio, then you have a little fan club, then under that you'll see gift gallery. Now my gallery has nothing in it for this week, so if you guys want to go ahead and hype that up, that would be so wonderful. I just learned about the gift gallery this morning, honestly, because I was on the live and I was just, engaging, sending roses and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool how they make it gamified. But anywho, let's dive in. Let me know how you feeling this morning. If you in good spirits, let me know where you watching from. Tap the hearts, let me know you can hear me. How you feeling? How you feeling? Welcome to the room, guys. Alright, I'm Dr. Cheapest Sunflower. Always here to help us stay going in the right direction. Alright, so today we talking about how we waste life waiting to live. How many of you people like that? They just waste life, waste time, waiting for the perfect moment just to live. How many people y'all know like that? Just waiting. Opportunity come knocking and they don't make a move. Alright? Or maybe this is you. You've been wasting your life, allowing your time to decay, waiting to live. We got to get rid of this negative energy this morning. We have to get rid of it. Alright? So come on in the room. Let me know how you're feeling. What's going on, chat? Yeah, I already know we're going to get into it. Our goal today is to awaken awareness about lost time, procrastination, and fear that's disguised as busyness. That's 3 things that we're talking about today that can make you lose track of where you're going and allow your time to decay. So again, we're going to awaken the awareness The first step is to be aware that you're losing time, wasting time, strolling 3 to 5 hours a day, wasting days out of the year, procrastinating. Procrastination is the thief of all dreams. Or fear, disguised as busyness. You so scared to move and elevate that you just stay busy doing not much of anything. All right? So we're going to keep it light. Welcome to the tribe. It's a new week. It's a new mindset. And we got to start it off. You know, I have a busy week. A whole new direction for my life this week after last week. It was like a big pivot in my life. So I'm waking up feeling ready for the next level. And sometimes that's required in life. You have to make decisions that are difficult, but you realize it's the best decision for you, for the future, for your future self. Sometimes you do things that's good for your present self, but are we doing things that benefit us in the future? Are we investing? Are we paying attention? Are we being healthier, or at least trying? Are we doing these things? So that's why it's a new week, new mindset. Come in the room. Let me know where you're watching from. And let me know how you're feeling. What's up, y'all, on TikTok? All right. So let's define time decay. What is time decay? It sounds just like what it is when you have a cavity. This is when you just allowing your time, your days to go, and you wake up and you like, damn, where the time went at? Like, what? You running out of time. That's how it feels when you're not like using your time wisely. Allowing procrastination, the fear of your next level. Sometimes you could be scared of the next level. You could be scared of all the abundance that's getting ready to enter your life. Many of us have seen the meme of the two guys digging for diamonds. And one stops right when he was literally millimeters, inches away from opening a treasure chest of diamonds. The other one is drilling and he's happy about it. He's motivated because he know there must be diamonds there. And so I'm going to keep going. Even if I'm tired, don't give up right when you're getting ready to cross to the next level. That's that fear. That's the procrastination. That's not being aware of all the power you possess instead of being busy. A lot of us sit on the social media and instead of being a creator, we the ones in the consumer seat. We just consume a lot of stuff. We don't contribute to society. We just consume. Even with our body, we just consume. We don't ever show love to our body, put health and good stuff back into our body, but we just consume it until we get old fast. Now you've been so busy for no reason. That's why from the Hood to Hooded podcast, we have to elevate our mind every single day. I know it get hard. I know it get tough. I know some of the topics be a little bit so much for your spirit, but you have to grow aggressively. Otherwise, you get left behind. All right? So time decay, what is that? It's the slow erosion of your potential caused by indecisiveness, fear, distraction, and delay. That's what it is. That's time decay. Are you being impacted by time decay right now in this moment? Where you have all of your potential going out the window because you can't make a decision. Well, I want to make some money, but I don't know what I want to do. A lot of young adults, especially after they leave high school, which doesn't prepare them to be investors or wealthy or financially literate, they enter the world and think, oh, well, just work is the answer. That is not the answer. You really need to make clear decisions with clarity without being fearful or distracted or also delaying it. People will have every excuse year after year after year. But today, we need a new mindset. It's a new week. And we are not allowing our potential to continue eroding because of these things that are placed in the way to stop us. We already know, especially to my Niji out there, ASIO to the Niji, sending love to the ancestors first and foremost. We already know how history has tried to trick us out of our spot. But how long can we sit on the excuses, my Niji? Because I see a lot of people like, well, dang, we know all this history. What do we do with it now? What we do with it is we keep continuing to teach each other. We continue learning, promoting unity, not allowing our time to decay because we sad about the past. We know the past, and that gives us power. That's why knowledge is power. So no one can ever tell you who you are, what you can become, or what you ain't. Because you know deep down in your side, in the inside, that brilliance runs in your DNA, not indecisiveness. Our ancestors have over how many? I don't want to get the wrong number, but they have hundreds of inventions and creations that this society still uses to this day, from the toilet to the spoon to refrigeration to GPS to the internet. It goes on and on and on. So that didn't come from a mindset or a DNA of indecisiveness. That didn't come from the DNA of fear. It didn't come from the DNA of distraction. It came from focus, clarity, intention, purpose, and no delay. And back in those days, they had way more obstacles, rules and laws against reading, rules and laws against writing, rules and laws against not going to work, rules and laws against not going to church. They had all kind of rules and laws in place to prevent you from being a creator. Now they have, the algorithms in place right now, but that's not enough to stop you. Today is the day that you stop waiting for life to happen and you make life happen. You stop losing time being boggled down with just busyness of, the everyday mundane, Monday through Friday. What are you doing outside of the box to create something, to create a space where you can be free, where you can have a sovereign mindset, where you can go from hood to hood in the mindset? What are you doing right now to eliminate the fear, to be unapologetic, to wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm the and I don't care what nobody feel about it. I don't care what history did. I do care. I'm not saying I don't care in that manner, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, that is not enough to stop me. It's not. Okay? So right now, we're going to do an affirmation to help us get our day started. And the affirmation goes like this: my time is sacred. I am not waiting to live. I'm living right now. And let's sip on some tea on that note. I'm not waiting to live. I'm going to live right now. What? In the day and the age of AI, the internet, social media, entrepreneurship, no one could really have an excuse unless you really got an excuse. We know what the legit excuses are for why someone wouldn't be able to own their time. But if you don't have an excuse and you allow other mother suckers to own your time and distract you and delay you, then the excuse all falls on you. Okay? So this is an alarm for us to take our time back. So what's one thing that you keep saying you'll start later, when things calm down, when life gets better? Oh, I'll do it later when my finances is better. I'll do it later when I'm not so stressed out. I'll do it later when I don't have a lot going on. That's what you tell yourself. And then ask yourself this question: how much of your week are you spending being intentional versus being in autopilot? What does that mean, Dr. Sean? What does that mean? What does it mean? This means that you are in a box. You feel like you just doing everything by routine. You almost like a robot. You almost like a zombie because you don't like what you do. But yet again, you get up every Monday morning or every whatever day your work week starts, and you do it week after week, getting the same result and not changing shit. This is telling you to yourself, my time isn't sacred, and I'm just gonna wait to live. I'm not gonna live right now. I'm just gonna wait and start living later. Sometimes later don't come for people. Sometimes you got to do it right now. Tomorrow is not promised. You only live once. These are things put in place to kind of motivate you. But yesterday we talked about requiring discipline, requiring consistency. That motivation is not enough. So we talked yesterday about what if motivation doesn't work? When you're going through life and motivation just don't cut it. We already know what to do in that situation. You must be disciplined. You must show up. Even on the times when you feel very unsure, you still got to show up. When you have a little bit of anxiety and fear, that's a sign that you actually move into something that may elevate you. If you don't have no fear, never, you just going through life, you just go to work, go home, you do the regular you not trying to elevate, then you won't have the feelings that I'm talking about. But when you know you call and you chosen to do more, you gonna show up even when you scared. You're gonna show up and eliminate the distractions and know that, hey, my time is sacred, and you gotta really have a license to fuck with it. Okay? So if your life is in autopilot and you just doing the regular things and you can't figure out why am I not happy, it's because you're not intentional. You're not pursuing your passion. You're not pursuing greatness. You're pursuing somebody else's empire all the time. That's why you can't think. You can't create. You done lost your drive. That's why. Let's take everything off of autopilot. See, the thing about colonization, white supremacy, these things cause us to feel like we got to be in auto drive as laborers. They don't want you to have enough time to think about the things that you love to do and create. They don't even want you to have enough time. No, you don't have enough time. That's why you go through 12 years of school and never learn about how to be wealthy. You learn about stuff that make you go just to work. The next thing I want us to think about this morning is, if your time was money, how rich or broke would your mindset be today? If your time was money, how rich or broke would your mindset be right now in this moment? If your time was money. See, for me, if my time is money, my mindset is going to be rich, because I know that it's really the knowledge, because you can get $1 million, hit the lottery, not have any financial literacy ideas or knowledge, and it's gone like this because you didn't think, okay, I got $1 million, let me clear my debt, and now let's flip this money and invest in something that's going to grow it. See, when you come from the hood, we never taught how to grow money. We just told, honestly, you know what they say when you from the hood, money don't grow on no damn trees. That's what they tell you. But money does grow. That's what you should be telling me. You can invest this and it will grow. So many ways you can invest this. But going to work, having flat money, not turning it into land, into something over 30, 40. How many people go 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years working, enslaved to a job, and their money never turned into nothing but a GoFundMe at the end of their life? Because nobody ever taught them in school about life insurance. Nobody ever taught them in school about none of the wealth building assets, about trust fund. None of this stuff. It's foreign. But you go through your whole life in autopilot instead of being intentional. I don't want to be like that. I don't know every answer, but god dang it, I'm going to try to find, hey, this is how we break generational curses, guys. It's because you say, hey, I wasn't taught this, but I know I need to learn it. I wasn't taught this, I wasn't shown this where I come from, but guess what? I recognize that this might be something holding my family, my tribe back. And I gotta go through this so that we can all get better and learn how to get off of autopilot. And then if each one of us learning something different in the tribe, how to get us off of autopilot, guess what we're gonna do? Eventually, we're gonna learn how to go from broken mindset to a wealthy mindset, which puts your finances in autopilot. Because with the knowledge, that is the power. All right? So where does time actually go, guys? Where is time actually leaking from our life that is causing us to have this level of decay? Where is it coming from? It's coming from strolling. How many of you stroll and then like 2 hours has passed? What could you have done productively with that 2 hours? Maybe you could have been live. Maybe you could have been putting out some content. I don't know. If you're trying to level up and have a couple streams of income, it comes from overthinking. Well, I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to do things. When I first became a Twitch streamer, Twitch was one of the hardest things for me to learn. I was like, it took me literally a year or two to get unintimidated by the app alone. Because you get on there, it's a lot of gadgets, a lot of things you could do. It's like, whoa, this is just more than hitting a button. Even on TikTok live, some people might not want to go live on TikTok because it feels like, whoa, it's a lot going on. But just go. Don't wait for the perfect moment. That's why this consistency challenge, me showing up 365 days every day, has been hard. I failed 3 to 4 times because of perfectionism. Now I don't even get in the way with perfectionism. I just go. I'm focused more on the purpose than on being perfect every day. And if you keep going with the consistency, that's already perfection in itself. Negative conversations. This is another time waster. Having negative conversations about people, with people who don't have nothing going on. You already know. Y'all already know who those people are. You know who those people are. Don't even play with it. Those are the people who look at other people be successful and feel like they got to put their 2 cents in when they don't even know what the person had to do to get there. You know those people who look at you like, dang, I know they got it. They don't know what you had to do they don't know that you almost didn't eat some nights. They don't know that the bills might not get paid sometimes. They don't know that you might have been through homelessness. They don't know that. They don't know what you went through. So negative conversations, stay away from those people. Unhealed cycles, unhealed relationships, dealing with people who are unhealed, stay away from it. This is gonna suck your time away. You're gonna be focused on something that is not growing your legacy or your family. It's just sucking your time away. Now here's some data that I feel like we all should know. The average person spends about 2.5 hours per day on social media. Do you know how many days that is wasted every year? 2.5 hours per day. That's a lot of time. That is 38 days per year wasted just strolling. 38 days per year. That's almost a vacation. That's almost a month and 10 days that you spent instead of on vacation, relaxing your mind. You spent strolling, absorbing so much energy all over. And we just have to be mindful of that and not overdo it. I love to stroll too, but if I find myself just strolling, doing too much, I have to detach. I don't want to be a freaking constant stroller when I should be producing. Alright? The next thing is the waiting syndrome. This is another time killer. I've been off social media over 5 years. Wow, that is amazing. Listen, honestly, I would be off social media too, but I'm trying to get monetized and stuff, so that's the only way I can stay is if I'm actually producing content instead of just consuming, because that can get draining. Alright? And we don't want to do the waiting game. Waiting for motivation. Some people waiting for money to live their best life. Some people waiting for permission. Or this is the one that get a lot of us. I'm waiting for the right moment. What does that mean? You waiting for the right moment to live your best life? How about this, guys? This is what I want to tell you. How about from today forward, we make the rest of our life the best of our life? We're not waiting for permission no more. We're not waiting for money. We're not waiting to be motivated. We're doing it right freaking now. I feel you though. Okay? We're not waiting. Get rid of the waiting syndrome. Cut it out. Where do you lose most of your time daily? Think about it. Some people lose most of their time every day strolling. Some people is watching TV. Where do you lose most of your time daily? Where? Me, I try to use most of my time every day producing, creating, growing, learning, honestly. I have gotten into those slumps where I have just slept in the bed because I was depressed. I was sad. I didn't have a clear direction for my life. Like last year before I learned who I was Niji, indigenous, depression used to attack me a lot. And I would spend time just like not being able to get out of that slump, wasting time. But I can't do that. You can't stay there. You have to learn how to gain emotional control. Stop overthinking. Stop trying to be perfect. Ignoring those negative comments. Staying away from negative people because that energy infects your soul. Then before you know it, you one of the negative people. Working. Cornell 84 working. I travel so I meditate and drive. That's amazing. Spending your time meditating. And a lot of us spend most of our time working, which is why we have to get those multiple streams of income where we can work and make money in our sleep. Invest in our sleep. I know I'm not there yet, but definitely making efforts every day that I can to slowly get there. Money in your sleep. Alright? What small tasks drain your focus but don't actually build your dream? One small task that actually drains our focus but doesn't actually build our dream is strolling the internet, like we just talked about. Another small task that kind of drains my focus but doesn't really help me build my dream is, what's one task I could say that drains my focus and doesn't really help me build my dream? I feel like watching TV. Like I used to be a big TV watcher, but I kind of know that it kills your dream. Like it's a waste of time if you're not watching content based on personal development or just learning something in your niche or something that's not like tooth decay to your brain. Then it's a waste of time, and it's a small task that's continually over time. It doesn't help you build your dream. Working for others, for me, that is one major task that most people lose time with, that kills their dream. And then when you're done, you are wiped out when you work for other people only. I have side hustles, but companies get more of my time. And that's how it starts. It starts as a side hustle until it becomes your main hustle. And that's okay. At least you in the mindset to even have the side hustle, because sometimes those side hustles need the main hustle to survive. When I was in dental school, having to take care of multiple people, my main thing was I had to do hair in dental school. That was my side hustle. Even though I was tired, I had to go to class 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, study all day, study all night. I had to squeeze time in to do hair. So if you've been in Nashville, I probably did your hair back in those days, maybe. I did a lot of hair, a lot of doctoral students' hair, a lot of Nashvillians' hair as a side hustle while on the route to becoming a doctor, because I wasn't there yet. But I still had to study. I still had to show up. So don't ever count the side hustle out. Sometimes those can save you. I cut hair. How ironically. That is so cool. Okay. Another question we can ask ourselves, chat. Make sure you tap in the hearts, getting your heart me on TikTok, helping me fill that gift gallery. Another thing is, who or what steals your energy and why you shouldn't allow it, or why do you even allow it, people to steal your energy? I do private security also, So you got two side hustles, and eventually it's gonna be your main hustle once you figure out, hey, you know what? This side hustle, now I want to put all my time, not all your time, but a lot more of my time into this because I figured it out how to make it pay more than my main job. That's always the goal. How can I get more than what someone else's empire is paying me? How can I build my own empire so that it funds my dreams and my goals? Before I became a dentalpreneur, a dental practice owner, I had to work for a lot of dentists. My first year out of dental school, I went to get more training. I went to a general practice residency at the Brooklyn Hospital Center because I felt like I wasn't ready. That was the perfectionism in me, but also knowing that knowledge is the power. So that experience, then I said, okay, now I'm still not ready. Let me go work. So I worked for a couple offices until I felt, dang, they got me running their office. I can run my own office. So I thought, and I am doing, but it's a lot harder than, outside looking in. When you actually in it, it's hard as hell. And I'm like, some days, whoa, this is a lot more than I bargained for. But the experience, the knowledge that you gain from stepping out on your own, whether you have a good experience or bad experience, you're going to take it to the next level and do it even better the next time. That's why you got to start now and mess up and try again and mess up. Me being consistent 365 days, I failed 3-4 times. I had excuses. I had loved ones leaving the earth. And I wasn't emotionally prepared for that when I started this consistency challenge. That's why sometimes along your journey, you're going to run into things like that, where people even leave who you love before you can get to your goal. Because time don't care about that. It doesn't care about that. My dragon dentist story is coming along well. I like for you, Dr. Sean, to be the dental consultant to make sure the dental science is accurate. Also, I like for you to play the dentist dragon. Oh my gosh. Good morning. You want me to play the dentist dragon? Oh my gosh. I'm nervous. All right. So here are some tangible actions that we can take every day to make sure that we are not allowing our time to decay. You can track your screen time for 24 hours. My phone, the iPhone, I turn my screen time. Well, I have alerts on social medias that pop up. Hey, you've been on for 15 minutes. Most of the time I hit the ignore button because it feels weird, the phone telling me to turn it off. But it does make you aware, hey, you're spending a little bit too much time on this app. And most phones now, they tell you how much you're spending on entertainment, productivity. So pay attention to these little widgets that your phone has to help you kind of track your time. Another thing, write down 3 top time thieves in your life. So Connell said working for others, that's a time thief. For sure. That is a thief of time. We already mentioned social media. That's another one. When you're strolling versus producing. Another thief of time we mentioned is watching TV. Or engaging in negative conversations. Or overthinking. All of these different things. So write down the 3 things in your life that are stealing your time. This is called being aware. Alright? Now, the next thing that you want to do is replace one of those things with a growth activity. And this growth activity can be reading, listening to a podcast, reflection, meditating, working out, journaling, or learning a new skill. It could be anything. I got a little goal to learn a new skill to do something with dentistry that normally dentists don't do. But that's my goal. I can't tell you what it is because I'm still working on it. And I'd rather bring it to life before I tell it live. People that don't belong. What are your thoughts on the consistency? What do you preach about it? I want to use that in my story. Type it in the comments. What are my thoughts on consistency? My thought on consistency is you cannot advance without it. It has to be a part of your recipe, no matter your industry, no matter your age, no matter who you are. You cannot bypass that. If you see people, athletes, they're consistent. When you see even like music artists. People feel like, oh, they're so wealthy, but they have to be consistent. It's a lot that goes into any type of career that you choose. Consistency is a must. That's how I feel about consistency. That's why I started the consistency challenge, because it was a skill that I don't really have. I am a procrastinator sometimes. I'm an overthinker. Perfectionism will count me out. That's why a lot of my channels, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, it gets to a place where the consistency goes away because you're not reaching your goals as fast as you want to, or you got other things that are draining your time. Or it could be depression that's draining your time. It could be a lot of mental health going on in your life. That maybe it's childhood trauma, but something is going to make you aware of why you aren't being consistent. But in my opinion, it's required. You want to be a doctor, you got to be consistent. You want to be a business owner, you damn sure got to be consistent. You want to have nice teeth, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. That's one skill. If you don't have it, get it. Like, get in the mindset to get it like today, and it will change your life. Ask anybody, Kai Sanat, Mr. Beast, whoever you want, I Show Speed, whoever you want, Beyonce, whoever you want to think about. The one skill that they have all in common, consistency. Dr. Cornelia Brightfang, the titular dragon dentist, gives a lecture on oral hygiene, and consistency is involved. I need to use it for my story. Yeah, consistency with oral hygiene, that's an easy lineup right there, because without consistency with your oral hygiene, you're going to have cavities. Point blank, period. Without consistency with your time, you're going to have thought decay. You're going to have mental decay. You're going to have time decay. It's not going to amount to nothing positive. It won't. All right? So what is the psychology of time decay? What is the psychology and the thinking behind that? What do you guys think it is? Thank you for tapping the hearts on TikTok. Thank you, Tierra K, for being the #1 gift badge. I'm the same way, real Tierra K. Hey guys. Thank you for tapping the hearts, Tierra. Alright, Dr. Brightfang is a white dragoness. Alright. So fear of success versus fear of failure. Both of these cause hesitation. So which one are you? Do you fear the success or do you fear failure? Because both of them are stopping you from moving forward. All right? Tierra K said, I fear both of them. Wow. Fearing success and fear of failure. That can happen. And they're going to cause you to hesitate and waste your time. So the brain is going to choose comfort over growth unless you train it to do otherwise. So if you are in your mindset saying, you know what, I fear success, I fear failing, I'm just going to stay where I'm comfortable at. You train your brain to not really go towards succeeding. And this is going to lead you to decaying your time and hesitating in every area of your life. Your someday mindset, meaning you say, someday I'm going to get over the fear. Someday I'm not going to be afraid of success. Then your brain stays in this comfort zone. You never grow, and someday turns into a mental poverty. And that's how we stay stuck in the hood versus going to a hooded mindset. It's because we count ourselves out, really. Someday never happens. It never happens. I have, even when we think about, me, I started keeping all of these dental magazines since 10, 15 years ago. Because one day, I was going to go back and read these magazines, right? And then now, maybe 2 weeks ago, I realized, wow, I have all of these magazines that I never read, not once. And I just had to just throw them away because it was something that I was never going to do. I had the mind to do it, but I don't really have the time to do that. It just didn't make sense. It's the same when we think about our dreams. Someday, we're going to get to it. This was meant for me to be here this morning. Thank you, Tierra K, for being here. I'm happy this is resonating with you. That's what we about, just Baby steps, queen. All right? So that someday turns into mental poverty where you never accomplish the goal. Clifford 2000 fan said, I choose a dragon to play on the fear of going to the dentist motif, but Cornelia is friendly. She's like a wise mentor type dragoness. That's pretty cool. I think that's going to be a great story, especially for the kids, involving the dragon with the oral hygiene. I really do. All right. So the psychology of time decay, it shows how micro decisions shape your destiny in the future. So if you continue to make micro decisions based on your fear of success or failure, then it is going to shape your future. And then your future, you will look back and have regrets. So we got 3 more questions I want us to ask ourselves. What's one opportunity you lost because you waited too long? Have you ever lost an opportunity because you couldn't make a decision because of fear? The next question I want to ask is, when you say I don't have time, what are you really saying? What are you really saying when you say that? Some people say I don't really have time. It's because you allowing your time to go to things that take away your time. For me to get to the next level next year, I know that I have to take this test that I have been avoiding for years now, but I have to take it to get to where I'm trying to go. So now I have to program my mind and say, you know what? Now my time can't be spent maybe strolling or watching TV. I have to spend that time now studying. And you really have to study, otherwise you'll fail the test, right? Think about this last question. What emotion usually drives your procrastination? What is that emotion that triggers you to say, you know what, I'm going to wait? Tierra K said, it's the fear of being successful and it's the fear of failing. I had that fear of failing when I first started my dental practice, and it used to make me depressed. It used to make me sad because I was trying to do everything so perfect. I wanted to be successful, but you don't really know what that looks like coming from poverty because nobody really told you about it, so you don't know what to expect. You don't know how to set it up. You got to learn so much so fast, so quick, and then you're scared that if you fail, how will people look at me? Like, what am I going to do if I fail? I'm going to be a failure. That can lead you to depression. It can just really stunt your growth. What I had to do was detach myself from failure and know that anything that I'm doing, I'm trying. And if I don't succeed the first time, and if it's something that I really truly want to do, I'm going to try again. Being a streamer, for example, it's scary as hell going live. Most people won't even do it. They fear about the trolls. But I learned, I can get like a little auto buy, and they can they can block out certain words. That's going to give me a level of protection. Or I'm showing up every day, even though, like I keep telling y'all, this is like my 3rd or 4th time redoing this challenge, but I keep going. I keep showing up because I'm trying. And I don't care how other people look at me. How do I look at myself in the mirror if I quit and just gave up? No, when I keep showing up, I'm going to get better and better and better. Now my brain isn't going to choose the comfort zone. It's going to be ready to go to the next level. We got to untrain our brain from being scared, and then it gives us that flight or fight sensation, and now you don't want to move because you're scared. My first time applying to dental school, I didn't get in. I had an interview at University of Florida. I was so scared. I was scared of success. I was scared of failure. I walked into the interview. Nobody in the interview looked like me. None of them had melanin. And I went into the interview. The 2 interview professors, they didn't have melanin. And I just cried like a baby. And this is a true story. I cried like a baby, y'all. I cried like a baby because I was just that freaking intimidated of being successful, but also of failing just because of the color of my skin. I counted myself out. Now that's some deep, deep, deep doubt, fear, and just hesitation. This is how your mind has to be ready for the next level. You got to train your brain to say, you know what? I don't care if I'm not feeling ready. I'm going to tell myself that I'm ready. The next year, after the interview, the professor called me. I think her name was Dr. Spinetti. And she said, "Dang, we really want you at UF. But crying let us know that you was not ready." Well, she didn't really say that, but she said, "Don't go take the test over." She gave me some real vital advice because I'm like, I gotta go take this test over and do this. She said, "Don't take the test over. Just go take some master's courses. Get yourself even more prepared because we feel like you can be admitted." The next year, I did immediately I started taking those courses and I applied again the next year. And the next year I got one interview, Meharry Medical College. I walked into this interview, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not crying this time. I don't care who in here, what's going on. I walked in there with such confidence. And I even admitted in my interview, I said last year I had the opportunity to get into dental school at University of Florida. I said I didn't get in because I cried like a baby. I say, but I'm ready now. I told them this. I'm ready now. I'm not crying. I'm not none of that. I'm ready now. And this is how you have to be. Otherwise, your brain will choose comfort. Your brain will choose fear. Your brain will choose every other emotion except stepping in there and doing what you're supposed to do and standing on business. You got to tell your brain, no, not today, brain. I know you want to be comfortable. You trying to protect me. But in this moment, I need you to level up. I don't need you to keep telling me what I can't do, clocking me out of my dreams, making me make these small micro decisions that keep allowing me to miss opportunity because I'm scared. All right? These are things you can do. Replace "I don't have time" with "it's not my priority," because if you don't have time and you're not doing it, it's not your priority. And I want you today to do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. This is thinking long term. I'm not talking about going to work, clocking in, clocking out. That does not benefit your future self. What is one thing you can do today that your future self will thank you for? For me, my future self is going to thank me for researching this test that I have to take, continuing to read about it, and just getting in the mindset, okay, Dr. Sean, you got to take a test. Because I was out of the test vibe. But I'm back at this point. I don't want to do it right now. I was meant to be here this morning. All right. So set a daily non-negotiable task aligned with your long-term vision. And I'm using the test as an example so you can kind of see how I'm also getting myself ready to use my time to benefit my future self. So what's the strategy? I'm going to go over the 3R formula. The strategy, I need you to edit it and streamline it so it would make it better flow and with more sense. When the live stream is over, I will share with you in the comments what I have written so far for my Dragon Dentist story. Okay. So the 3R formula, that's reassess, restructure, reinvest. So in order for you to reclaim your time and redefine your success, you got to reassess what you're doing in life. What truly matters to you? What is going to make your future self happy? What makes you happy, honestly? And then you got to restructure. Where can you simplify or automate your time? In the day of AI, this is so easy to do with all the different tools that we have. You can easily restructure your time. Chat GPT is my assistant. I love it. It saves me so much time. If you have not downloaded it and are not using it, I suggest you do that today. But don't just use it to ask crazy questions. Use it to help you reassess yourself, restructure your time. And the last R is reinvest. This is very, very key to reinvest in yourself. Put time back into your purpose. Put time back into your skills or into your rest. Because success is not busyness. Success is aligning with who you are. And only you can answer that question today. My future self will be thankful for me staying in the right path. Absolutely. Absolutely. So once you reassess, restructure, and reinvest, you're on the right path. All right. And as you think about these 3 R's, you can ask yourself, what's one routine that feels productive but is not truly purposeful? I'll give you an example of how AI kind of helped me stop doing a routine that was wasting my complete time. And I was doing it for a long time. I had like 8 piles of paperwork to organize, and I would spend hours just scanning one by one. Don't know. And I was like, hey, AI, what is a better way to get this task done? Da-da-da-da-da. It was like, wait, before you start scanning, you should sort the papers. And I was like, oh, duh. And I got it done in 2 days. It's simple things like that you don't even think about. It could be so save me so much time. So that was one live on TikTok though. Okay, we back. We back, guys. I'm sorry. It went out. Thank y'all for sticking around though. All right. So I was just asking a very important question. How would your life look if you took full ownership of every minute? How would it look? I love my life now that I have took full ownership of every minute, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. Taking full ownership of every minute with entrepreneurship is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but I have autonomy, knowing over my head, and I can make my own schedule. But it's not so easy when you do it from a dentistry perspective. Now you see people doing digital products, streaming. It's other ways to take full ownership of your time. And how does that look for you though? What does that look like for you? Really think about that. And how could you do that? What actions could you outsource, automate, or even eliminate this week? Like me spending time scanning paperwork, I had to eliminate that because it was a stupid task, wasting so much time. Even with my streaming, I have found over this past, since I've been doing this since like May, this consistency project, quicker ways to create clips, upload the videos on YouTube. And I'm going to do a demo one of these days to show y'all my workflow. But the more you do things, the better you get at it. So think about things you can automate, eliminate, or outsource to help you take more ownership of your time. All right? So plan your day in 3 blocks. What can you create, connect, or care? So for me, creating this live stream, connecting to my audience, it just starts my day in a positive vibe. And I thank y'all for chilling with me today. And that's how I create, connect, and care. After this, I'm going to be a dentist and care for patients. And after that, I'm meditating, going to the gym to connect to myself. All right? Another tangible action you can take this week is applying time banking to your life. Trade off 30 minutes of TV for 30 minutes of wealth building or journaling. Trade off 30 minutes of TV for going on YouTube and finding content on personal development. And the last tangible thing that we can do is write 3 sentences about success and the definition of that for you, for your present self, and not your future fantasy self? How does success look for you today? How does not waiting to live your best life look for you today? Is it time for you to leave this job because it's stressing you the hell out and you need to move on? Is it time for you to finally start that candle business? Is it time for you to start and go live on TikTok? Or I don't know. What does it look like for you? All right, guys. So in closing, remember that time is borrowed. Time is borrowed. Use it as proof of gratitude. So your time is borrowed. Don't waste it. Every minute should be aligned with your purpose. And this will extend the quality of your life. So every minute of your life and your time should be aligned with your purpose. So don't wait to live, guys. That's the whole point. If you didn't hear nothing that I said this whole time, don't wait to live later. Design your perfect life now. All right? And as we end this, I have a couple of affirmations, and we're going to wrap it up. So let's go to these affirmations. I refuse to decay and delay. I refuse to decay and delay. All right. The next one. I live intentionally every hour. Ooh. Ooh. Let's clap it up. I live intentionally every hour. Okay? And I'm not going to decay and delay. No. The next one is discipline is how I stretch my time. I love that one. Clock that T. Discipline is how I stretch my time. I will also venture to say consistency is how I stretch my time. And another one for the people who feeling like, they're scared of success and failure. Remember, I am not behind. I'm in alignment. Whatever you're going through, you in perfect alignment. You have to have those aha moments where you're like, you know what? I needed that. All right. So remember, what is your main time thief? And what is your new rule for the week to eliminate that? Drop comments in the chat and let's hold each other accountable. Reclaim your time, reclaim your mission, and do not wait to live at all. All right? We're not waiting no more. Drop your questions in the chat as we wrap it up. Before we get out of here, make sure you go ahead and get your daily Heart Me on TikTok. Make sure you are following on any other platform. I appreciate y'all joining me this morning for our topic, how we waste life waiting to live. We're not doing that no more. No more. Hey. And if we don't have any questions in the chat, we're going to be out of here. What's up, guys? Thank you, Toya, for being the number 2 gift badge. All right, so guys. So I'm gonna tell y'all what we going over this week. So make sure you following. I'm live every day around 8 o'clock. Today I did a little bit earlier because I got a busy day at the office. An intern coming, full schedule, the whole nine. But today we did time decay, just getting our Monday motivation in check for the week. Tomorrow we will be doing financial freedom / investing. We will be talking about day trading and some terms for that. Wednesday we'll be doing dental intelligence and health. If you have questions about dentistry, put it in the chat and I will address it on Wednesday. Well, I can address it anytime, but Wednesday is going to be full dental broadcast. I'm not sure about the topic. I have a few ideas lined up. I don't know if y'all want to do 20 stats that will change how you see your teeth, or do we want to talk about how smoking, cannabis, and vaping can affect your oral health? Those are the two that I'm deciding between for Wednesday. Thursday will be our AI Tech and Automation Day. This is going to be an AI demo day, how we can be productive with our systems. I'll be touching in with ChatGPT, Canva, CapCut, Perplexity. I think that may be it for Thursday for AI Day. Friday will be financial literacy and mindset wealth. I love Fridays. On Friday, we'll be going over apps that you can use to invest from your phone. Yes. So apps that you can use to invest from your phone. Saturday is Niji Heritage, History, and Identity Day. Of course, we'll be going over indigenous knowledge, hidden history, and sovereignty. I think this week we are touching on Thanksgiving and the history behind that. Yeah. Sunday is reset, reflection, and wellness. We'll be getting into how not to allow the holidays to drive you crazy. Alright. So, this is Dr. Cheek This Sunflower, aka Dr. Sean, the Motivational Dentist, back with another Hood to Hood podcast. Make sure you are following. I will see y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Toodles!